In this video, I'm going to tell you what cold calling is and why it's worth it, so stay tuned. So one age-old marketing tactic that's been around forever is cold calling. So what is cold calling? The act of cold calling is when you pick up the phone and you call a business or a potential customer and they haven't talked to you before, you haven't met them, there's no relationship yet, and you try to sell something to them. Now at first glance you might think, well, that's not a good idea, they don't even know who you are. It's like talking to a stranger, right? And a lot of times, yes, it isn't the best idea. I've done cold calling before when I was trying to design websites for people. I called up pizza shops and I called up different restaurants that were in my local area. One time I had somebody get super mad at me on the phone and they said, "I don't need your service, Drew." And then I just hung up after that. I was distraught and I didn't know what to do. Cold calling is not one of the most effective marketing tactics if done incorrectly. If you just pick up the phone and you call prospects without knowing if they qualify for what offer you're promoting, then you're just shooting in the dark. You're going after potential leads and clients that really don't want your services. So these people aren't really in your target market. Before you start cold calling, you want to make sure that the people you're going to be calling are qualified. For example, if you're a web designer, you should look at people's websites that don't look very good, or they're underdeveloped, or they don't work on mobile. Those are the people you want to call if those are the services you provide. You don't want to call somebody with a fancy website that works on all devices because they are not qualified for your offer. They don't need it. You don't want to prescribe something that somebody doesn't need. How would you feel if your doctor gave you medication that you didn't need? You also want to make sure that you have a script ready to go. A script is just a guideline of what you're going to read off to your potential lead or customer to promote your service. In your script, you don't want to hard sell people the first time, but you still want to get to the point as to why you called. So how do you do that? Let's say you're calling and you're trying to design a website for somebody where it's broken or doesn't work. Your goal is to provide services to rebuild their website. So you're gonna ring them on the phone, and then once they answer, this is what you would say. You say, "Hey, I noticed that your website is broken and I'm willing to offer to fix it in order to get you more customers and more sales." As long as you've gone to their website, you've done a proper audit, and you make sure that you check the mobile site and the regular site and it doesn't work, or whatever your business is, as long as you're giving accurate information as to what you are researching, those people will be much more likely to believe you and need your services. You always want to lead with the benefits. Don't just lead with your service. Don't be egocentric. Often businesses are egocentric, and a lot of entrepreneurs start that way because they want to build for themselves, but they don't realize that their goal should be to serve others. It's not about just getting another sale. Nobody's going to buy from you if you have nothing to give them that they could use. For example, if somebody doesn't need a mobile app, don't offer them that service because all they need is a fixed website. Maybe they're just a small mom and pop shop that does pizzas or hardware. They don't need all this fancy stuff because they're only going to have people coming in and out of their store on foot, and maybe they might do occasional online deliveries. Whereas if you're working with a big client, maybe they do need all that fancy stuff. They might already have an agency working for them. So you have to keep that in mind when you're trying to find prospective clients. Do your research ahead of time, no matter what your service is, whether it's plumbing or termite inspection or if it's web design or marketing, it doesn't matter. Go to their website, look up their social media profiles, and just see what they have. Are they marketing the right way? Are they running advertisements? Are they at the top of Google with organic search? Are they cross-pollinating their platforms? So are they on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? How are they communicating their brand? Are they just throwing out ads, or are they trying to create content, bring people in? Think of ways you can serve people. And if they're just potential customers, look up their profile. Try to see what they're all about. What are their interests? Who are their friends? What do they look like? What are they into? Don't just cold call people for the sake of cold calling. Sure, you can open a phone book or open up your contacts list and call everybody on that list, but chances are most of those people aren't qualified. Look up businesses that might be in need of what you are offering. If you're offering technical advice on computers or web design or app development or something like digital marketing, maybe you should go after those mom and pop shops that don't really have time for all that stuff and they're working really hard in a brick and mortar business. Or even with online stores with people who have just started, especially startups. And then if you're doing something like termite inspection, or you're offering some sort of consultation as a lawyer or a doctor, try to find people that might need that, people that have health conditions, or they live in certain areas and they are exposed to certain radiations or different conditions that make their life harder. This is going to help you qualify people so much better. And when all you have is a phone and a name and number, you can't really do much more than that. Keep a spreadsheet of all the people that you've called, what they said, what the status is, and then move on to the next person. You should always follow up, but don't get annoying. If you've called 3 or 4 times and they're still not answering, or they're not giving you a clear answer, don't prioritize them on their list. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of them, but make sure you move on to the next person. With cold calling, you gotta fail fast. It's like going door to door, but on the phone. But if you pre-qualify people through your research process, it won't feel like going door to door. It'll feel like you're going to the right people at the right time and serving them when they are in need of your services. Tons of businesses still cold call. It's still worth it if you do it in the right way and you pre-qualify people. It's not the top strategy that you should use though. I highly recommend that you look into other strategies like inbound marketing and content marketing. If you want to learn more about those topics, check out some of my other videos and say yes in the comments below. I'd love to make a video on inbound marketing versus something like cold calling or outbound marketing. If you like this video, jump on that like button. I really appreciate it. Smash that subscribe button and flick on that notification bell so you don't miss a single video from me on how to grow your business fast online and live a happier life. Hope you enjoyed the next video and I can't wait to see you there. Peace out.